Alright guys, welcome to the price action manipulation program introduction. Right, this is Elson over here, and I'm going to be your mentor, right, in this course. Right, and so in this lesson, I'm going to share with you the stock market basic and who are the market makers. So you're going to learn a lot about the terminologies and the terms that's being used in the program itself, right? But before we move on to the content, right, I'm going to share with you more about me, some introduction about me, how do I get started into trading, my days in the prop desk, and I'm going to share with you some photos as well. And I think some of you are very interested to see uh, my time in the trading desk, right? And basically, to let you know, right, what you should be looking forward to even after you are done with the course, right? Whether I got lots of questions from students asking if this is the right time to trade, or is there any more opportunities for new traders who are coming into the market. And I'm going to share with you my perspective about getting yourself ready for the market even when there is no crisis, right? Because the market is dynamic and there will always be headline news, there will always be gyrations, there will always be crisis along the way. And that is crisis means opportunities as well. And I'm going to share with you some reviews from students who have been through the price action manipulation program and to share with you more insights. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin, guys. So this is a photo of me many years ago in the trading desk. I think that's more than like 12 years ago, right? This is one of the very few photos that I still have. I call this the dinosaur photo many years ago. And I hope I still look the same, right? Maybe now my hairstyle is different, and now maybe I look a bit bigger now, right? So that's me, right? And you can see that on the left side on my left side there's multiple screen monitors. And actually at my peak I got like 8 monitors, right? It's like a command center. I'm like looking at all these products at one time. But you don't have to do that when you are trading at home now. In fact, now at home I mainly just use one big monitor and with a side monitor as well. And most of the time I just use my laptop actually. Okay, so how you trade is still up here. Understand? Actually don't need so many screen. It's just that in the trading desk we have the luxury of just putting up all these monitors so that we don't have to adjust the ticker symbol and so on. Okay, if your house is not so big, you don't need multiple screen. But if you need multiple screen, go ahead. If you want multiple screen and you feel more professional about it, go ahead. Okay, and the trading desk is a place I always tell people that 5 years is not a long time and it's not a very short time, but it's a time in my life where I think I got the greatest experience trading alongside with many top traders in the industry, and not just the experience what in the trading desk was a good one. I have the opportunity to meet, right, people like the market makers, the exchange members, senior traders who have been trading the markets, who are more experienced than me. And they always say that you always stand on the shoulders of giants, right? And through the experience, the conversations, and the learning, right, from all these uh, people around me, and also I would say the greatest teacher is also the market itself, right? When you are trading, you do learn certain things, not just in terms of strategy, but in terms of psychology, right? When you enter the trade live, you do feel the how do you manage your psychology when you win and when you lost, and these are invaluable experiences that you can only experience it yourself. And I would say the market itself is the greatest teacher, and losing money is a normal thing in the trading desk, right? Even in day-to-day trading. But the key in trading, like what you're going to learn in the price action manipulation course, is that we aim to outperform the market, right, in the long run, right? And to maximize our rewards, right, our wins when we are in a winning streak, and to keep our losses small when we have a drawdowns. Okay. And this is the actually the trophies that I received when I actually achieved the top trader award. So I'm not a trophy person. Okay, in fact I don't really display this at home. Okay, because I always want to look forward, right? And but during the time I still keep all this for memory's sake. It's an award that I received when I became the top earning trader for the quarters, for 2 consecutive quarters back in 2013. Okay, and so over here is to share with you. A lot of students, like I mentioned, asked me if some students told me that they miss out on crisis before, don't know whether there's still any more crisis, right, when they enter the market. Is it too late to enter the market? So the thing is that, right, for those of you who are elder than me, you've probably been through, not even before the dot-com bubble crisis, you have probably been through the Asian 1997 Asian financial crisis. Like my parents' generation, they have been through 1997 Asian financial crisis. If you are even older than that, you've probably been through things like the oil crisis. I think there are some crises with regards to banks as well, right, before that. But if not, I think most people would know that there is this dot-com bubble burst, right? The internet bubble burst, the subprime mortgage crisis, Eurozone debt crisis, then you have the trade war, and the most recently, right, we also have the pandemic. So the thing is that the markets doesn't move one line up. Even though in a longer term period like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even 100 years, the market always go up, right? As what I learned from Adam, right, in investing, right, the markets always go up. But the thing is that in the short term, there will always be gyrations. There will always be gyrations as the market goes up. And the key is that whenever you go in to the market, you want to go in the optimal time actually to go in, right, to buy in and to hold for long term, not short term, but long term, is to wait for a major sell down, like during a crisis. So the question is that crisis does not happen often. In fact, it happens around 8 to 12 years. Okay, it depends because some crisis is 8 years, some is 12 years, 8 to 12 years apart. So the thing is that we are only 1 year into the pandemic crisis. There's going to be probably another 8 more years or 10 more years before there's going to be another crisis. So before the crisis means what? We're going to have a bull run first, right? So the bull run is going to take another 5 more years. So you're not late, right, to enter, let's say, to the market when it's only 1 year old, right, since the last crisis, the pandemic crisis, right? So tell yourself that, right, there's going to be a lot more opportunities, and even when there is non-crisis, there will be a lot of money to be made. In fact, when I joined as a professional trader, right, I joined the trading desk somewhere around here in 2010 onwards. I traded after the financial crisis, and during that time, I also thought that no, oh shit, I did not uh trade when there is during the financial crisis. I only trade after the financial crisis. I didn't know whether it's too late to trade or I miss out opportunities. But little do I know that right, if you think that you are late, then you're going to be late. If you think that there's going to be opportunities, there's going to be opportunities. And actually in trading, right, you can always buy high, sell higher, even if you never get the bottom. And you're going to learn along the way that buy high, sell higher could be a more lucrative way of trading as well. And I traded all these gyrations along the market, and I make a lot of money along the way, even though I did not trade the financial crisis. And you're going to learn a very important psychological lesson in price action manipulation is that you doesn't need to always get the low, right? You doesn't need to always get the low. The key thing is to go in with the size, and of course, if there is a crisis, you must be prepared. And I always tell people that opportunities works like magnet. You all know a magnet, right? North and south attract, right? So magnets, opportunities are like magnets. They attract those who are prepared mentally and physically. And where there is determination, if you are determined and you want it to succeed, there is always a way, right? You may not know when, because no one knows when the crisis will be, or no one knows when a good opportunity will be. It's like you never know whether you'll meet your future girlfriend or wife, right? And it just comes suddenly, right? One day you go to the shopping mall and you meet the person you like, right? You never know, right? But the day will come where you least expect it. Okay, so those who are not prepared tend to hesitate, even though seemingly great opportunities appears in front of them. In fact, this is a quote that I came up with myself. and it really summarized my perspective, right? And I always tell people that even though things can get boring now, right? Actually, if it's a down period, it's the best time to be prepared, right? You don't want to only start to trade or start to learn something when the market is moving a lot, right? Or I would say that even if I started trading in 2008 or 2009, I may not be able to capture the opportunity because I'm not mentally prepared or physically prepared for the gyrations, right? The volatility. I may not even hold long enough. I may maybe when the market goes up, I may just sell because I'm not trained to hold, or I do not have confidence, right? So the thing is that, right, when you're prepared, right, when you have the skills, right, you have the skills ready, when the opportunity comes, right, you know when to click the button. And I can tell you this, guys, when you are after you learn the skills and strategies in the program, go ahead and open a live account, trade a small live size. Okay, trade a small live size for the start to get a feeling. I can tell you there's something that I cannot teach you is I cannot click the button for you. You see this mouse? I cannot click the button for you. You have to click the button yourself, right? Enter the trade yourself. You can feel the psychological connection, right? When you enter the trade. Because if you do not click the button now, I can tell you, if you don't practice clicking the button now, even when there is a crisis, you may not dare to click the button. And so that's the difference, right? You have to practice to get a feel so that when the real opportunity comes, and you have been through so many of these practice before, right? Live firing before, you know that when now it comes, you dare to press, the button. If you have not practiced enough, I feel when the opportunity comes, you may not dare to press the button. And even if you press, you may not dare to press big enough. Understand? And I can tell you the greatest regret sometimes is even though there's a big opportunities, and even though traders trade the opportunity, they may regret because they may not go in big enough. Okay, so be prepared and practice, have the right mindset, attitude, right, towards learning, right? Learn from the mistakes and constantly improve yourself, and that's the best thing I can say, right? As you go ahead to learn all these strategies in the price action manipulation course, is designed in a way, in a very holistic manner, right, to give you the tools, right, and to give the best chance to succeed in the business of trading, right? I painstakingly created all this framework, right? A lot of work came behind the scene, and I tell people that back in my days, I don't have any formal training. It's all on the job. On the job, you bite the bullet, you make the mistakes, right? It's created a lot through a lot of hard work, but everything came out to be just a set of strategies for students to use, the sweet spot, entry, exit. All these are through a lot of experience, and I can tell you that when you go through a lesson, you understand what I mean by experience, right? The type of questions that you will ask only if you have live traded for many years. And so this is actually my 2020 most recent year performance. So uh, it was a good year, right? And I made about more than 200 over 1,000. But the key thing is that I benchmark myself against the S&P 500, the S&P, okay, the S&P 500 index, right? And as traders, we should do that, okay, because we aim to outperform the market. In fact, there was an outperformance. I think S&P 500 returned about 16%, and this is about outperformance of about 6 times, right? 6 times of the S&P. So I aim, in fact, every year I aim to outperform the S&P 500 minimally at least 2-3 times, right? 2-3 times, right? So I set a very achievable target, I guess, right? And I made a lot of money using all the strategies that I teach my students, not just in stocks, in forex futures, and also trading cryptocurrency over the years as well. Okay, I'm sharing with you this to motivate you guys that, right, with the right strategies and techniques, you can always aim, right, to outperform the index, and you can use the strategies that you learn to go into value investment companies that you guys are looking out. That means it's in your watch list, and you are using Elson's method to time your entries and exits into value investment stocks, which some of my students do, right, with great success. Okay, so some of the reviews for my students after being through the program is that they got a lot of bad experience. They always tell me they after enter the store, or they always buy. If they don't buy, the thing won't drop. The moment they buy, the thing drop, right? The moment they sell, the thing goes up. So it's very funny and interesting story. And I realized that a lot of traders really do not understand how manipulation takes place in the market. And after the teaching, I always receive such comments from students that last time they were blind, but now they can see, right? Now, instead of getting manipulated by the market maker or the big boys, they are able to they are able to trade the manipulation instead and make money from such manipulation. In fact, last time they were afraid of being manipulated. Now they are very happy that there's manipulation. And I always tell students that I'm actually very happy when there is manipulation, because I knew that it's like a very not a crowded trade, right? It's a crowded trade when the price is moving up and everybody is buying. But when something is actually in manipulation, right, like a DR1 or a bullish FS where there's bull trap, bear trap, it's actually not a less crowded trade, because the market makers are shaking out traders instead of getting them in. Okay, so and only professionals will be able to see and to trade such price action. So I'm very honored I'm very honored, and sometimes when I see such comments from my students, it really makes my day, and it's really an honor for me as a mentor and a teacher, right, to change the way a lot of my students actually trade and view the market. Okay, and very honored to say that, like Striker here, right, who is Derek, says that the course gave him very good insights and conditioned the psychology to think like the market makers. So it's something like I always tell my students that trading the market is like going to a battlefield, like going to war. And during my free time, I like to watch those Chinese wartime history ancient shows like the Three Kingdoms. Right, you go in Google, YouTube, Three Kingdoms, ancient Three Kingdoms. You'll know that this is basically during the warring states. Right, there is different continents fighting with each other, so there's some military uh, principles behind it. So I always say that, right, to it is just like the Sun Tzu Art of War doctrine, which says that to win 1,000 battle, you need to know yourself and the enemy. Right? Knowing ourselves is our psychology, the way we look at the trade, the things we say is also important, because the things we say determine our attitude towards the things we approach, right? So we have to condition ourselves, right, day in, day out as a routine. And these are something that you're going to learn in the psychological lesson as well, right? To condition yourself to manage wins and loss, how you approach the market, and most importantly, to understand and think like the market makers, right? Because the market maker is your actual enemy, right? It's not your friend who's trading beside you, is really the market maker, because they control more than 90% of the liquidity in the market, and they are the one moving the prices. So to understand them is of utmost importance. And one of my students here, Vivian, right, she's actually non-financially trained, right, and she's very new. In fact, she's a beginner before she come for the price action manipulation course, right, and in less than 3 months she managed to actually, over here she mentioned that, right, in less than 3 months she managed to regardless of volatility in the market, so regardless of the gyrations in the market, she managed to make back a course fee, right, using the methods that's being taught. And I always tell my students that your first goal when you enroll into the program is to, of course, make back your course fee, because after that you make back course fee, right, the knowledge is really it's going to be with you for the rest of your life, right? It's not like something that you can use only for this week or next month. You can use it for many months, many years down the road, right? Whether it be in terms of short-term trading, swing trading, or even in timing your investment entries and as well. And Vivian make a good amount of money doing all this in 2029, when after actually she joined me in April 2029. In less than 3 months, in July, she already made back a course fee, and she has been following me closely throughout these few years, and I knew that she actually make a good income, right, from trading itself as well. So guys, right, I hope you have gotten a good perspective about the price action manipulation course, and I wish you all the best in your trading journey with me here in the program. And all the best, guys. I look forward to coaching you in the subsequent lesson.